Shalom Akim, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kwakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Greatness doing well, and to the Akims throughout the Falcons of the earth, to you that say Shalom, 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 preaching the gospel of Mashiach Yahweh Shai in sincerity and truth and diligence of mind. Yeah, so, these elites, they're serious about their agenda to have police states, because having a police state is necessary for them to have the so-called new world order, and that's why they have to focus their resources on getting the police more involved in holding the people down. All right, so the government's going to divert funds from assisting the people to into the coffers of these so-called law enforcement agencies and the military. And that's the time we're living in. Okay, the time of feeding the people is basically coming to an end. So the government's going to abandon the people to their own vices, and they're going to have this so-called militarized police to hold the people down, to keep them at bay. All right, because the agenda of the elites for a so-called planetary lockdown is something that's dear to their heart, and they have to achieve it within a certain time frame. And the Lord has already said they're going to fail miserably, and they're not going to be able to achieve. And that's the reason why they're going to try their best, to do so much damage during World War III. And they're still not going to achieve what they desire, all right, which is to utterly eradicate the Israelites, our so-called, our people, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans. It's because of our people that these things are happening, as the Lord has, prophesied, thousands of years ago, that all this controversy upon the face of the earth, all these uprisings and riots, is because the elites, they want to have that birthright back, and they are so desperate, and they're upset. All right, so I'm going to get a precept real quick. It's going to be from the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 3. All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 3. Yeah, it's one of my favorite precepts. So it reads, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." All right. So that's the time we're living in, the fulfillment of the Lord's words. All right, His prophecies have to take place. All right, because it is just a prelude to our deliverance. And a lot of these people out there protesting and going against the cops don't understand they are fighting a lost battle. All right, and they're just blowing some hot steam, risking their lives and limbs to try to make a point to no avail. So, hey, who's going to win at the end? Our people, the meek and lowly, the rejects of this world. All right, that the folks that the world has turned their back against. All right, we are the ones that's going to come out victorious. Okay, not because we said so, it's because the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shaba Shema Kakadash, made it possible. So I'm going to play this video real quick, and then you see the frustration of these people.
δεν υπάρχουν πόροι και δεν υπάρχουν υποδομές στο ελληνικό πανεπιστήμιο, η κυβέρνηση, την αστυνομία και για την πειθαρχία των φοιτητών. Αυτό το νομοσχέδιο οι φοιτητές λένε ότι δεν πρέπει να εφαρμοστεί σε καμία περίπτωση και θα μείνει στα χαρτιά.
And that's what you have, you can describe as censorship and oppression, all right? Because these governments that are attached to the elites, that do the biddings of the elites, they have to do their part in making sure they have a transition to this so-called new order. And the same thing is going to happen here in America too. A lot of students are going to take to the streets and be angry about their educational situation and the unemployment situation. And, they'll be protesting against all these big banks getting no-bid contracts and all this crony capitalism agenda. And, hey, what else do you think is going to happen? They're going to have to turn the cops against the people, all right? And then you also have folks in D.C., upset that the so-called fences that were put up by the so-called Secret Service and the military, it's not coming down. They are upset, but hey, that is still up there. It's a sign of the times that we're living in. The sign of the times that everything's gonna get spicy here on the surface on the earth, and the government's gonna go against the people, and then the people against the government, and the men of the Lord are just gonna have to stay out of the way, let them go at each other's throats. So Revelation chapter 12 verse 12 says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." All right, and that's the reason why all these uproars of the people is taking place. The devil knows he has a short time. The elites, that control the world, they know that the elites of this Edomite, so-called white people, they know that their time is up, and the Lord Yahweh is on his way. So they're going to have to put in this police state. They have to force it upon the people. All right, so they're going to have some false flag attacks and all that stuff, just like they did at Capitol Hill in D.C. So they're going to have to do something, and this C-19 is not enough for them to, use as a false flag. So they have to add something extra, some cherry on top of that. All right. So that's Revelations chapter 12, verse 12. So it's going to try to push hard, to crush the people underneath his boot. All right, underneath his steel-toe boots, and crush them with his batons and bayonets and his ammo tanks, whatever. So it's going to be terrible times upon the face of the earth. All right. So another precept will be from the book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. Amos chapter 1, verse 11. All right. It all boils down to Esau knowing that he has a short time and he has to hurry up quickly. So it says in Amos chapter 1, verse 11, "Thus said the Lord, for three transgressions of Edom, and for four, I will not turn away the punishment thereof." So there is no forgiveness for these Edomites. It doesn't matter how rich they are or how poor they are, no matter how much good they do to you, the Lord is not going to let them escape his indignation, his wrath. So it says, because he did pursue his brother with a sword. And that's what these Edomites have done. They keep chasing our people up and down with oppression, man. And our people just die, by the thousands and thousands every year, all because of Esau's devices. It's always pushing our people to the brink of becoming violent criminals. The food is messed up, the air is messed up, there's so much oppression, and Jake is depressed and all that stuff. Yeah, I got Jake. He got Jake committing suicide. And then it says, because he did pursue his brother with a sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. All right. So the Lord talked about the enmity between the seed of the serpent and the seed of Adam and Eve. Hey, that's where we are. You know, the children of Israel versus the children of Edom. And that's the showdown. You know, the spiritual battle. Okay. And the Lord tells you about you know, being angry at someone for for nothing. So let that be the final precept. It's going to be from the book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 24. The Lord warns you about being angry with someone for an unnecessary reason. Okay, that's not worth it. You know, lack of contentment and all that stuff, jealousy. So the book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 24 says, envy and wrath shorten the life. I read it again. Envy and life shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. And that's a good reason for for the Lord to bring an end to the rulership of these Edomites right there, because Esau's consumed with envy and anger and jealousy, man, that it can't even let our people breathe properly, man. You know, you can't even worship the Lord, with joy of heart without these Edomites always attacking the man of the Lord. And that's a good reason, for the Lord to shorten Esau's rulership. So Sirach chapter 30 verse 24 says, envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. When he's always worried about what's next, that's why, Esau society is crumbling apart. All right, unnecessary worries, unnecessary focus, and attention on useless stuff. All right, so that's just the point there, Akim. Just pay attention to what's going on around the world, and just to know how the elites are preparing, to shut stuff down. All right, Shalom.